Words have power. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, I noticed that when I talked to different people about their relationships and whether or not they were successful, it all came down to the quality of communication, the words that they shared with each other, which had a big influence on the success or failure of that relationship. Hi, my name is Naomi, and welcome to Journey of a Flying Pig, where I talk about life from my experience. And today, what I would like to do is I would like to share with you three words that I find that I don't like. I try not to use, I discourage other people from using them unless they're doing it with intent. And three words that I find that I embrace. And I have a couple of runners up also. And it's interesting because as I was preparing for this video and I was writing the words down and I was looking at them, um, I realized that the words that I don't like are the words that um, close you, okay? That kind of contain you. And the words that I like, the words that I encourage people to use, and I try to use frequently myself, are words that are open and that encourage you and move you forward. So, without further ado, we're going to start with the words that I don't like because I always like to start with the negative and end with the positive in situations like this. So, my top three words and my two honorable mentions. My number one top word that I dislike is but. Every time that you use the word but, you minimize whatever it is that you said beforehand. For example, and this is my favorite, you look really good in that dress, but. And then you're expecting some kind of negative comment like, it's really tight, And so I encourage people to think twice when they realize that they use a lot of buts in their conversations, um, because it does seem to be, I guess minimize is the best word that I can think of right now to describe the conversation. And I'll give you an example. The other day, I was talking about working on a project. I didn't finish it, okay? And I realized that I was starting to say, I didn't finish it, but, and I stopped myself because using a but there, I was actually about to give an excuse for why I hadn't finished it. And then it was like I was defending myself. And I didn't like that. I stopped. I didn't say I haven't finished it because that is usually a good substitute instead of but adding and. Notice how I even use the sign for and, okay, which is kind of like it's a continue. It continues. Instead, what I did was I said, I haven't finished it. It is a work, period. It is a work in progress. And right there, what I did was I owned it. I owned that it wasn't finished. I gave no excuse. I did add, it is a work in progress, which is not an excuse. It is an acknowledgement that I am continuing. Okay, so number one, but. Oh, by the way, these three, I'm doing them alphabetically because I don't like all three kind of equally. Okay, the number two word that I don't like to use is can't. C-A-N apostrophe T. Okay, um, when I was a kid, I took baton class, and her name was either Miss Barbara or Miss Beverly. But I do remember that one of the things that she used to say is that can't is a coward, too lazy to try. And I grew up with that in the back of my mind. Can't is a coward, too lazy to try. So whenever I started to say can't, I would stop myself because I didn't want to be considered a coward. As I grew older, I realized that when you use the term can't, I can't do this. If you know any teenagers, I'm sure you've heard that come from their mouths. It's a cop out. It's right up there with I don't know. It is it's that easy peasy get out of work phrase that um keeps you from pushing yourself. Okay? Funny story. So I had a friend, and one time she came up to me and she said, "Hey, Naomi." And I said, "Hey, what?" And she said, "Let's go on the Oprah cleanse." And I'm like, "Sure, what is it?" And this was it was the Oprah Winfrey cleanse, where there was like no animal product, no processed products, um, la 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 la, like a lot of no's. Okay, I don't even remember all the details now. Okay, so one thing you could have were vegetables. Okay, and I'm from the South, and we eat a lot of vegetables in the South. And so what I did was I came up with a list of all of the vegetables that I liked and all of the combinations and all of the ways that you could cook these vegetables, including fried. Okay. And yes, I use processed oil in that. And so I had a list of all of the things that I can do. And she had a list of all of the things that she couldn't do. Okay. Now, 5 days into this Oprah Winfrey cleanse diet, she's sitting there eating peanuts and saying, "I am so hungry." And I'm saying, "I'm doing great. I've actually done, I actually experimented with stuff outside of my comfort zone because I could have soy milk. I mean, I couldn't have cow's milk. I could have soy milk. I could have almond milk. I could have rice milk. And I found that I really like almond milk. And so, whereas she was focusing on the things that she couldn't do, I can't do this and I can't do that. And I was focusing on all of the things that I could do, and I was very successful. I lost a couple of pounds during that cleanse and gained it right back. That's okay. And another thing about can't is it limits you for all of the possibilities. Whereas if you look at what you can do, and that is when I come across somebody who says, "I can't do this," then my first response, and it's very annoying, I'm sure, is, "Well, what can you do?" Okay. Number 3, should. Oh, I really don't like should. Well, I should do this and you should do that. And I have found that when you use the term should, you are really you're utilizing shame and guilt into something. And and I don't like that. I'm sorry. Instead, I encourage people to focus on what they want to do and what they need to do. And coming from those two perspectives, you're much more likely to have success rather than focusing on what you should do. Okay. Oh, my honorable mentions for the things that the words that don't work for me, always and never. You know what? Life is not black and white, okay? It is, and guaranteed, if you use always or never, the universe is going to go out of its way to try to prove you wrong. Okay, so, all right, the words that I do like, the words that I do embrace and try to make a big part of um my my life. Number one, kind, grace, kindness. As in, be kind to yourself, treat yourself with grace. Um, Above all else, be kind to others. Okay? Number two, permission. Give yourself permission to do things. Allow yourself the opportunity to be happy. And number three, choice. You are allowed to choose what you're going to do in life. You are allowed to make these choices in the words that you use. You make these choices. Give yourself permission to make choices that work for you. Um so oh, and honorable mentions, breathe, as in take, just stop and breathe and allow yourself to feel the moment or think through the moment, and believe, as in believe in yourself. So, words have power, and we have the choice in the words that we use. All right, you guys, thank you very much. If you like what you hear, like the video. If you would like to hear more that's similar to this, then please subscribe, hit the little bell so you're notified when I make videos. And thank you very much. All right. Oh, and don't forget to leave comments. Okay, so remember, you have the choice of how you communicate with other people. Bye-bye. Oh, try to be kind to yourself.